I know we've touched on this in some other videos, but one of the pieces to Connor's point around this sort of confidence, I built in a system into the game, particularly for this confidence. I mean, first and foremost, this is a D6 pool system. So again, if you're familiar with D6 TTRPGs or you're familiar with Warhammer, you know that the more D6s, even having one more D6 than your opponent, is a substantial advantage.
Yes.
And so when you understand your stat block like this, just because the rule of averages on D6s, it's very strong having one more dice, and it's astronomically strong having two more dice. It's almost a guaranteed success at two dice. And so when you understand the system, you can understand that, outside of course, you cannot roll all ones, and it kind of sucks. And certainly you can roll all sixes and just be like mind-blowingly good, cough, cough, kel all the time. Except last mission, which was great.
And your blood dice sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, my blood dice, yeah. But so there's this stability. It's not like rolling a D20 where like you can be technically really good in something, but it's a 20 dice that can swing really, really hard. It's a pretty stable system. You kind of know you're going to be generally pretty good at this. The second piece, though, is that just in case, I've also given you a whole pool of edge dice that you're digging into. And these are D4s that you can use to just edge your dice to make that threshold check, to get the upper hand on somebody. And then the capstone. A D20, you just got one of them, but for that hero moment, when you got to get something done, you can roll a D20 and add that to your result for just really, really potentially massive success. And we've seen this. This has been the story maker, honestly. Yeah. When I first put this in, I didn't even think about it so much. I was more like, I had played plenty of games where you roll really crappy and you're like, well, I don't want to die. And I wish I had something I could do to stop me from like dying, but there isn't. It's just you rolled poor, sorry, game over. And it's like, no, here's this thing to let you come back from the brink sort of moment. And it is that. But man, we've seen it used actually more often than not for the movie moment, for the
story moment,
the cash jumping into the hovercraft and outmaneuvering a Talos judicial rocket, despite not being really a driver. But he threw his edge dice at it. We saw it where we had this woman whose mind is literally deteriorating from being just torn apart by a psionic, and Amon Vecht comes in and he's like, no, I don't want this girl to die. I'm emotionally attached to this person and I need to save them, and throws the edge dice and just wins. And it creates a whole new arc and attachment and power moment for the player, and cool plot development that I never saw coming. And I think it's when you have all those layered systems, when you have a stable dice system, and then you have a ability to actually edge it in case you're just a little bit off of where you need to be, and then this hero making once a mission moment dice that you can use, it feels so good. And I always have to like brace myself when I go and I play something like D&D or whatever, and because like I don't have any of this. I've got a D20, and then it's like, good luck, and maybe you have advantage, right? Maybe you can roll 2 D20s. But that's it. And it just, like, it's hard to go back to systems like that when you have like these ways to really help you gain success. And it's not that you're always successful. We had for one of our missions, for 2 missions now, our sniper has gone down twice from the chest. Unfortunate situations. And it happens,
but I mean, Kairos decisions, they cascade. No matter, I could have had 3 capstones, I still would have died. Like,